Welcome to Key Factors, presented by theraceguide.com.au. Stu Rich and Mike Wood here to take you through the big Quaddie at Rosehill Gardens this weekend. But Mike, what a week it's been. Hours of analysis, but full of highlights. Ace high last week in the Derby started things off. Pinot was just huge today for Gay. And of course, we found the Cup winner rekindling. Congrats.
Yeah, it was great to find that Cup winner in such a really tough Cup this year, wasn't it? Lloyd Williams found him 3 years ago. We found him in the dark depths of a Saturday night reading the form. He simply had the best form, didn't he? The 3-year-old's winning all the staying races in England, and sometimes it's as simple as that, Stu.
It was a great win to rekindling, and we're going from all the drama of the Cup to a tab highway to kick things off in the Quaddie this weekend at Rosehill.
It's been a long week. We've been doing Doncaster form, York form. That's been tough.
Yeah.
But at least it's group form. At least it's for the Melbourne Cup. Mudgee, Bathurst, you're kidding. In the Quaddie on Saturday Highway, I can't believe it. So tough.
Well, it doesn't stop at Mudgee and Bathurst, Mike. We've got Musselbrook, Tarwee, Marillambah, Scone, Wagga Wagga, Canberra, and Danny Williams. He's saddling up 3 runners from Goulburn. They're coming from everywhere for the highway.
Yeah, it's been a long week doing lots of form analysis. Let's look at the way this first leg of the Quaddie sets up. A really tough one to analyse. The highway handicap, looking at the conditions first and foremost. It's a 1,400 metre race at Rosehill with the rail plus 3 metres. We think there should be a fair bias on a Saturday. They might come a little bit wider later in the day, but we'll check that out later. Looking at the 3 key factors for this first leg of the Quaddie, distance first and foremost. 1,400 metres has got to be a key factor. It's quite a unique distance range. Position and run, which horse gets the gun run in the big field, and scope in a really tough race, which horse can beat the handicapper.
Well, let's have a look at the market to kick things off in the Quaddie. It is the tab highway, as you've said. Let's kick it off here with Highway 66, $3.80, the best supporter of the Danny Williams trio. There's Rosetto with a little bit of money, that well-bred mare, Bellini Rose. A little bit of money too for Isla Tristana into $4.80. We all know Matty Dunn knows what these highways are all about. Money there for Schedule at $7, who's another one becoming a bit of a highway regular. But look, this could be a case of pick your favourite highway trainer, mate, because they're all here. Yeah,
they're all here. And how much time do we have? I want to have half an hour to go through these replays, please, producer. No, we haven't got it, 2 replays only. Let's pick out a couple of them. Brazito, first and foremost, coming to the outside in the Arrowfield colours. This was a really lower grade Musselbrook race. But the way she won, she was pretty impressive, wasn't it?
Loved having a look at this. Out widest in the yellow, absolutely laps them. This is Winks-like down the outside.
It's like Hugh Bowman in the Chelmsford. Starts off early, starts her run early, just keeps lifting. You don't often see horses do this, so it makes it a really impressive win. But the form ratings around that horse are not particularly strong at all.
Ease down, massive win. Let's have a look at one of Matty Dunn's runners here. We know he loves these highways. Isla Tristana, Mike, let's have a look.
Yeah, he loves the highways because he gets them to Sydney at the right stage of their preparation. She's 3rd up here. Her first up run was pretty good. Her second up run was just okay. This is her 3rd up run. She was 2nd favourite. She went back to the back of the field. She comes out wide. That's the favourite she's looming up alongside now. Too easy, Stu.
Yeah, just runs straight past that favourite, as you said. He just trains these horses to the minute for these races.
Yeah, and she's won at Rosehill before in a highway, so she's done it all before.
All right, there's a look at the replays. There's a lot of analysis going into this highway. Let's get stuck into it, Mike. Let's see who's got on top with the form.
Let's save you time at home, not having to go through all these replays. We've done the hard work for you, starting with form. Let's light them up. Schedule, Isla Tristina coming through good last start runs. Rosita, she won, but it was a lower grade race like we said. Okay,
so it's Schedule and Isla Tristana out of the box there. Into distance, Mike, the first of the key factors.
Yeah, we saw Isla Tristana hit the line, obviously over 13-15 metres at Ipswich. She's going to lap up the 1,400 metres, we think. Highway 66, a horse on the improve that should improve out in distance. Rosito, she hit the line as well.
Isla kicks as the race unfolds. How about position in run here, Mike?
Yeah, Rosito she's got a perfect barrier, doesn't she, to sort of settle closer than she did last time. Schedule, tactical speed, really tough. Gold bar for him as well. And Prince Planet, inside barrier, can make all the difference for him.
Rosito and Schedule making this a real race. How about scope? Who's got the most to give in this?
Well, most of the favourites do, don't they? Schedule, look, he's been around the mark for a while. We don't think we're going to see much more improvement from him. But those other 4 favourites, lightly raced on the improve, they all could surprise and win.
So that's 5 favourites crossing the line, all pretty close together there. Looks as though we've got 2 groups, isn't it? The favourites in one group and the rank outsiders in the other. We've got to have a look at a bet here though, Mike. We've got the top 5 in the market. We've got the top 5 in the ratings. There they all are, $4.40, $4.80, $3.80, $7. We're looking down. I'm looking for a bit of value here. They're all together. What's this Whirlwind Descent? $51. That's only a couple of lengths off. This could be looking good.
Yeah, he catches the eye. Whirlwind Descent, doesn't he? 51. We haven't even seen him throughout the show, have we, so far? But looking across the rest of the horses, it is quite closely matched, and it does line up with the market, which makes it really hard to be confident in the bet that we want to go with. We'll go with Ala Tristana as our best bet. Out of those two favourites, she's just slightly better odds, but if she gets backed into a short price favourite, maybe we'll switch. Whirlwind Descent, it's beat in Vienna at Scone before. Its best form ratings are right in this race. Sack those last two runs, it's definitely a roughie that can win.
Nearly had it last Saturday with Lord Kingsley at $61, so the value that bet there at 51 could start things off.
He might firm before Saturday.
All right, let's have a look at the second leg of the Quaddie. It's the Australian Turf Club handicap over the 1,500 metres, and this has been rocked about by scratchings. Only 7 left. The Gay Waterhouse Adrian Bott team, they're absolutely firing in Melbourne at the moment. A double on Cup Day, a win in the Oaks today with Pino, and Stonebrook Mike, a winner of 4 from 5. Absolutely bomb-proof, this horse, and another one of those bomb-proof horses, Just Dreaming, just keeps going.
Yeah, the pros will love these two horses. In form, reliable, consistent, and on pace. Both bomb-proof, so hard to beat. Let's look at the way they set up in this 1,500 metre race. Second leg of the Quaddie, benchmark 83 over 1,500 metres, like we said. We think the tempo will be fair, despite the fact it's a small field. Those 2 litres going forward should like to roll along. The good conditions, the fair bias, hopefully on Saturday will make it really fair racing. Across the 3 key factors, we've got to play a good track at Rosehill. The firm, fast conditions is very different to Randwick. We always talk about that on key factors, and which horse is weighted down in the handicap and ready to win too.
All right, it's the second leg of the Quaddie. Let's have a look at the market for this race. And Stonebrook, well, he's been odds on in 3 of his last 4 starts. It got into the red on Wednesday, just eases out a little bit to $2 favourite here. Just Dreaming, just tries so hard, doesn't it? $4.40. Dagny chased Just Dreaming home in that same race. Cordero closed off well, fresh at $8. And Zenalicious, I mean, can we forgive that one run? Form around Dixie Blossoms prior, Mike, but look, the punters here, they seem to like this son of Hinchinbrook in Stonebrook.
Yeah, really short price favourite, and the form was stamped today with Passage of Time running second to Hawkesbury, but we're not going to have a look at him. You can have a look in the form guide. He's obviously got such fantastic form, never worse than second. We're going to go to last preparation for a couple of these runners because it's both Rosehill, both 1,500 metres. Starting off with Just Dreaming on June the 3rd. She's up on pace. She's kicking along really well. Cordero way out the back, patiently ridden than white. His run wasn't that bad.
Okay, but the action up front for me here, Just Dreaming. Love a horse that just hits the front, keeps lifting, and just loves to win. That's this horse.
Some of these horses are just programmed to be a racehorse. She is top of that list. Horses come up alongside her. She always lifts, she always fights. It's such a fantastic attribute, isn't it? Cordero surging late, that's what he does. He's got a big weight swing on Saturday.
Found a way to win there, Just Dreaming. Let's go back to another replay from another horse last prep. This is Zenalicious. And don't mind, Mike, this is the Group 2 Farlet we're looking at here.
This is unbelievable form for this race on Saturday, but can you trust this mare? The reason we're looking at this replay is obviously because it's Rosehill 1,500 metres, so similar conditions, even though it is on a soft track, and also because the start before this, she flopped at Randwick like she did last time leading to this race on Saturday. She kicks away. It's a really good horse chasing her, isn't there, Stu?
Yeah, that's Fox Play. That is a Group 1 horse that just gets the better of it. Form all around, Zenalicious here.
Yeah, she's got Dixie Blossom's form, this preparation as well. She's a serious horse at her best.
All right, well, there's a look at the replays. Let's get stuck into this analysis, Mike. Let's kick the race off.
Yeah, looking at the form first and foremost, Stonebrook, Just Dreaming, both second last start, both really good last start. What do you do with Zenalicious' form rating? We've got her in the mix, but she doesn't get one of the gold bars.
It's the 2 on paces kicking away there, Stonebrook and Just Dreaming, as we get into the key factors on a good track this weekend.
Yeah, we know Zenalicious loves the good track. Away from the wet Randwick is a big plus for her, so gold for her. Stonebrook probably bettered back to a good track. Just Dreaming, no positives for her, but she'll be okay.
Okay, so Stonebrook edging away as we get to Rosehill. Who loves this Rosehill surface?
Yeah, he's a nugget little thing, Stonebrook, isn't he? He's a tough on-pace type that gets around the corners at Canterbury really well. Will he love the big track at Rosehill? We'll find out on Saturday. We're not sure, so no kickers for him. Just Dreaming loves Rosehill. Zenalicious much prefers Rosehill to Randwick. She's right there.
Yeah, the class of Zenalicious joining in, making this a big three-way go as we get to weight, the last of the key factors.
Yeah, she's up in the weights, but she gets a big claim, doesn't she? That's why she's got the big gold bar for weight. Just Dreaming, an important claim for her. Stonebrook's got a massive weight. Dagny, no claim for her either.
So it's Zenalicious storming home late, gets the win, a great price at odds. Let's have a look now. We've got to have a bet in this race, Mike. And I mean, here they are, Zenalicious. We've just seen stormed over the top, $9.50. The pineapples are coming out, mate. That looks great value. Just Dreaming, we know is going to run a bold race. And Stonebrook, $2 favourite, couple of lengths in behind there. Big set against the fave here.
Yeah, we think it's a lay, don't we? I mean, he could really love Rosehill. It sort of slow burnt us last week doing a similar thing, didn't it? But the horse hasn't been to Rosehill Gardens before. It's a big risk for $2 to take a horse that's never been there before. Plus, he's deep into his preparation as well. Zenalicious, look, you are taking some risk.
Yep.
She could flop again, but the trial recently was great. Those odds are huge. If she comes out and performs at her best, she just wins, which is amazing to say at $9.50, isn't it? Just in case she doesn't perform, just streaming's the anchor bet for the value.
All right, so a lot of value there to kickstart the Quaddie into the second leg. Stick around and we'll be back to wrap it all up after the break. Welcome back to Key Factors, presented by theraceguide.com.au. We're up to the third leg of the Quaddie this weekend at Rosehill Gardens. It's the ATC membership now open sprint over the 1,200 metres. And Mike, red and green, they've been prominent the last few weeks. We had Slowburn winning, and then this week it's Zonk. Overstep. Here's a horse that I found interesting from Waller. It's had 6 straight races at Flemington this year. He decides to bring it back to a hard, dry Rosehill around a bend. A lot of queries for me here.
Yeah, big queries on her. And apparently Chris Waller's not particularly happy with the way she came off the float as well. So we'll see how she goes on Saturday. Let's have a look at the way this race sets up. A mare's sprint over 1,200 metres, which are famously close, aren't they, Stu? Benchmark 86, 1,200, like we said. The tempo we think will be steady to fair. There's only a couple going forward. Conditions good 3 and a fair bias. On Saturday, we hope across the 3 key factors, because of that steadier tempo, positioning run's got to be a key factor for us. Horses near the pace favoured, stage of preparation, which mares are ready to peak. And once again, weight is always in the mix in the off-season.
All right, we're 2 legs down in the Quaddie. Let's have a look at the market here for the third leg. And this horse here, Zonk, Mike, is another runner that started in the red for half her starts, and she's nearly there again at $2.20. Zonk Plonk was on when winning fresh. In Times of War, found out what it was like to finish worse than second last week, right there at $5. Has run so many places though. Magic Alibi, I mean another one on the quick back half after going down to Zumbalina. Your Way, fresh off 2 nice trials, is a winner. Bit of money there for Vigilance, who rattled home fresh, but is the Zonk Plonk on again?
The Zonk Plonk, I love that one, Stu. And the Zonk Plonk was on first up. We're going to have a look what happened to it. It sunk. She's on pace here in the red and the green, fighting on okay, but she comes second. Vienna Romance on the inside. She gets a dreamy run, doesn't she? And she runs on for 4th.
She does. I want to see a horse at such short odds winning well. Just didn't happen this day, did it, for Zonk?
No, it didn't happen, but it's a similar profile to Slow Burn, isn't it? Second up, on pace with a bigger weight on a strong tempo. So on Saturday, she'll have a steadier tempo. She'll have much less weight, so you could make an excuse for her. And the horse that beat her there ran okay in the highway too.
All right, in Times of War last week, as I said, never finished worse than second out of 11 starts. Missed the start in this. What happened this day?
Do we have to watch this replay, Stu? I absolutely put a truckload on a place. I rolled all my winnings for the day onto this horse, and she misses the start. She over races back on the inside. It's only a steady tempo as well, so there's so many excuses, but she always tries and sticks that neck out.
She is trying her guts out here along the rail in the blue and white, making up really good ground at the finish. Is that enough?
No, it wasn't enough on that day for third, wasn't it? But I think big excuses for Saturday.
All right, potentially a forgive there. Let's get stuck into all this analysis now, Mike, as we have a look at the form for the third leg of the Quaddie.
Yeah, starting with form, the 3 favourites, obviously right at the top there, all in form in Times of War, making excuses for her. Zonk and Magic Alibi not far off last start. They all light up with the gold bar. All
right, the 3 favourites kicking things off there. Let's get stuck into the key factors. Position in run.
Yeah, out of those 3 favourites, Magic Alibi drawn wide, midfield getting back, not ideal for her. The steadier tempo, Zonk in Times of War, a big kicker for them. They get the gun runs.
Yeah, the speed mappers at home, they wouldn't have missed that. The 2 favourites with the gun runs, stage of preparation.
Yeah, another risk for Magic Alibi here. I mean, she used to be a fresh horse for Gerald Ryan. He's been getting her to go deeper into her preparations. Now he's asking her to back up 7 days later. That's a big risk for us. Vigilance second up will improve. Zonk in Times of War, gold bars, no knock on their stage of prep at all.
Okay, the 3rd favourite, Magic Alibi, just dropping away a little bit there as we get into the weight.
Yeah, those 2 horses, Zonk in Times of War, we couldn't split them, but the claim for Zonk, such a big factor. She's kicking away there for us.
She is kicking away. That's massive margins, isn't it? We've got Zonk out in front, in Times of War in behind, another few lengths back to 3rd. Depends on what sort of punter you are here, Mike. Are you happy to take the 220 with a clear margin? Are you happy to get stuck in each way in Times of War? or do we play a bit of value in this? What are the punters thinking at home?
Yeah, there's 3 different ways you could go, isn't it? $2.20, $5, $9. What do you want? You want to take the odds-on favourite or the even money favourite and go big, or vigilance each way? Those 3 horses we think are the plays in the race. The margins are big enough, we think. She's on pace, so the risk is low. Zonk for us. A lot of people are going to be tipping her, so it's not that creative tip, is it? Zonk on pace, fighting on. She should be really hard to beat. And that Quinella is pretty obvious. That horse should come first or second again this time.
Got some pretty good second stats. So there we are, Zonk for the third leg of the quaddie. Let's wrap it up. Race 9 over the 1,300 metres. And Mike, Redouble. This is a horse that's been smashed its 2 starts this preparation. Came up well with a second, and then 22.5 lengths last start. And then Barcelona, we got up from Melbourne. Mike Moroney's having a bit of success over the provincials, but this horse just loves to run a place, doesn't he?
Yeah, some bad form and some bad names in this race. Let's have a look at the last race of the day, 1,300 metres benchmark race, and see what we like. Benchmark 80, 1,300, fair tempo, good 3 and fair bias. We hope on Saturday across the 3 key factors. We're playing that firm, good track again in this race. Not many of these horses will enjoy that stage of preparation. Lots of fresh horses in the race, and some of these horses are really up and down. We've got to play reliability as well.
All right, let's have a look at the last leg of the quaddie, the market, and hope the punters are all still alive as they get their hard-earned out. And Redouble, well backed, as I said, since resuming. Can you forgive that last run? King Darcy not far away, second up at $4.20 there. Dreamforce, fresh off 2 trials, looks ready to go. After all that, off his highway win right there at $6. Knit and Pearl chased hard at her latest. Darts away thereabouts. Could be a matter of throwing a dart at this field, Mike. That's pretty open.
Yeah, it's pretty open. There's a couple of favourites there, but do we like those favourites? That's the question. Let's have a look at one of them now. Redouble. He was good first up on a dry track. He was terrible second up. He had a cardiac arrhythmia, so maybe some excuses. We're really keen to look at this trial. Canterbury 900 metres, near the pace in the red cap. You want to see more, I think, from a horse that's deep into its preparation, that's really fit. He's hard ridden to win this, Stu.
He is hard ridden, but the form guide's going to say that's probably a good trial win.
Yeah, in the form guide it says first, so you can't knock it. But we are knocking it. We wanted to see more from that horse. Okay,
well, there's a look at a trial. Let's have a look at an on-track win now. And after all that, a few weeks ago at Randwick, along the inside here, really picked up late.
Yeah, but I can't believe looking at this form. This is country championships form. We're talking about a legitimate Saturday benchmark race. But let's have a look at it anyway. After all that, on the inside, getting the inside runs when the bias was near the inside, so it was a good run, but he had favours that way. Darts away wider in the pink. They've got form references all through their careers that tie through each other. That horse in the pink was okay too.
It was definitely okay, but again, another one of those horses lifting along the inside. We like those.
Yeah, he's a tough horse, loves the 1,400 metres as well.
Okay, there's a look at a couple of replays. Let's get stuck into this analysis to round out the quaddie. Mike, take us through the form.
Yeah, the 3 favourites once again. Redouble, King Darcy, Dreamforce. Gold bar for form. Dreamforce loves it first up.
All right, let's get stuck into these key factors. A good track.
Well, King Darcy, we know, is a wet tracker, so a big risk for him. We'll see later on how much difference that makes. Barcelona, I can't even say it, and he's a given. Both wet trackers, big risks for them.
Redouble and Dreamforce take a slender lead into the stage of preparation, the next key factor.
Yeah, huge risk for Redouble here, we think. His only form ever is fresh, so that's why he hasn't got a gold bar for this key factor. King Darcy, Dreamforce, after all that, right at the right stage of their preparation to win.
There's Dreamforce just edging ahead of a few of these there. Mike, who is a reliable pony? That's what we need to know.
Well, we hope this would make the difference, and it kind of does, kind of doesn't. We know Redouble's not,
a lot of gold.
So he doesn't get a gold bar. King Darcy, Dreamforce, after all that, all so solid. He's a given. He's really hard to trust as well.
All right, Dreamforce holding them at bay, but look at all that gold. There's a lot of gold there, Mike. We've got to sort this race out. Let's get these odds up because we've got to have a bet to round out this quaddie. I mean, you've said a few things here about Redouble. Well, straight away, I'm looking at him there. Look, you sound like you've absolutely sacked him at $3.80. Can you forgive? Dreamforce, $5, going to be right there. It won our race. That looks like a bet to me. King Darcy right there at $4, but Wet Tracker, I don't know, sitting on the bench here, I think, mate. There's a lot going on here for mine.
This could be a race that you do sit on the bench, Stu. It's really hard to pick one that we really like. Dreamforce, $5 each way. If he's wound up in the yard and the money comes for him, we think he is the bet, but you might want to have a look at the yard. Redouble, because he was so terrible last start and he's so risky. Let's do a trifecta and leave the favourite out, and hopefully it doesn't make a fool of us.
Leave the favourite out. Okay. Mate, you've got to do that sometimes in the quaddie. That's what we're here to do. It's not all about favourites. It's about value. Let's have a look at this quaddie as we wrap it all up, Mike. Last week, I mean, we nearly got off to such a good start. Well, we did get off to a good start. We had cars off, holding out Lord Kingsley, but then it was in times of Mr. Kick and Slow Burn who just burnt us.
Yeah, Slow Burn burnt us early, and thankfully, otherwise Wayanka would have burnt us by a nose in the last leg as well. Look, we've got no one-out standouts this week, do we? We're not that confident. Race 6, we've got to go really wide. Whirlwind Descent. If that wins the first leg, we will be popular. Won't be across to race 7. We're leaving out one of the favourites, Zenalicious, Just Dreaming and Cordero for us. Race 8, In Times of War, Vigilance and Zonk, we're putting in the favourite there. And once again, race 9, we're leaving out the favourites. So that's race 7 and race 9, we're leaving out the short price favourites.
Love it. That adds value into any quaddie. Love what we've done there. Mike, it's back to Rosehill Gardens this weekend. The weather's in our favour. It's going to be a nice, dry, fast surface. All you need to know, all the profiles at theraceguide.com.au, and good luck if you're punting in Melbourne, because Stakes Day is just going to be a ripper as well.
Enjoy the last day of the carnival.
All the best from us. Happy punting.